Welcome to the month of June, 30 days all about gin. Shining a spotlight on craft-made Canadian. Fun facts and proper tastings, live cocktails Friday afternoons. Discover 14 different brands and be influenced by me. Some for all. That's right, I'm a song for all.
Well, hello everyone. You are all very welcome in joining me live on Instagram on this 11th day of June, my 30-day salute to gin during the month of June. So today and for the next 2 Fridays, I will continue to go live on Instagram at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to prepare some easy to make at home cocktails using the Canadian gins that I've showcased and tasted during the previous week. So for anyone that's tuning in for the first time, welcome. I'm Sam Farrell, an Ottawa area sommelier who loves gin and for the 3rd year in a row is dedicating a full month on social media to gin. And this year, I'm shining a bright light on made in Canada gins. We truly have some innovative, creative, and tasty top-notch craft gin being produced up here, and I am honored and excited to share some of them with you. So Monday to Thursdays, I showcase different gins by sharing their background, their history, and I also do a proper tasting and review of the gin. On Fridays, such as today, I round up all the gins tasted that week and I play bartender, using each of them to make no fuss, no muss, easy gin cocktails. Today, both the provinces of Ontario, where I am, and British Columbia, they're both represented as I have Collective Arts Artisanal Gin, Swish Gin, Black's Red Fife Gin, these 3 are from Ontario, and from Duncan, British Columbia, Ampersand Gin. Now, if you missed any of the video reviews of these gins, no worries. You can indeed get all caught up by visiting my Psalm for All Facebook page and or my Psalm for All YouTube channel. Just before we dive in, as I will be mixing alcohol, I need to ask anyone watching who is not yet of legal age to purchase and or consume alcohol where they live to now sign off. Right? Goodbye. All right, for everybody else and all the adults out there, it's cocktail time. So first up is Collective Arts Artisanal Gin, and I'm going to be making the Allen cocktail. So we start by adding ice to a cocktail shaker, the riveting part of home bartending. So we add some ice. Then we're going to add 1.5 teaspoons. So 1.5 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice. I'm going to do that. Next, we add 3/4 of an ounce of maraschino liqueur. And I know that's about as fancy as we're going to get, but it is a good thing to have as a staple in your home bar. So 3/4 of an ounce maraschino liqueur. Add that right in there. Finally, we're going to add 1.5 ounces of the Collective Arts Artisanal Gin. Right? We're going to put the top on. We're going to give that a good shake. We're going to take the cocktail shaker apart if it wants to come off. There we go. Take your favorite cocktail glass. I like these ones. We're going to strain this right in there. Easy pour. Just like that. All right. Nice and easy. And there you have it. Very simple. You can get a lot more fancy at home if you want. But I like to keep things easy breezy here. So let's have a sip. Very nice, very refreshing. The juniper and the savory notes that are in the artisanal craft gin come out very well. The maraschino cherry just adds a little bit of sweetness, but this is not a sweet drink. Very nice. You could add a maraschino cherry to it if you wanted on your own. But aside from that, I think it's good. And I might just
came undone, so bear with me one moment.
Live here, folks. There we go. I think we're back. Okay, so on to cocktail number 2. This is the Blue Canary, and I'm going to be using this relatively new Ontario gin, Swish gin. Now this is a fun gin, so it's going to be a fun drink. First, I'm going to take a mixing glass. So I got this boy right here. And to this, of course, we're going to add ice, right? That's the secret to cocktails. Not really a secret, but we're going to add a couple of mittfuls of ice. Okay, now we're going to take 1.5 ounces of Swish gin. Add that right in there. Then we're going to take 6 tablespoons of fresh grapefruit juice, right? So that's fresh grapefruit juice, 6 tablespoons. If you can't use fresh, it's okay to use the carton stuff, but fresh is going to be a little bit better. All right, lastly, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of blue Curaçao or blue Carousel, depending on how you pronounce it. All righty, so that's in there. Then we're going to take our bar spoon, and we're going to gently stir this just for a couple of seconds. Mixy mix, nicey nice. Get everything kind of going in there. All righty. Now, we're going to take a cocktail glass. I'm going to use a highball glass. I'm going to take some crushed ice. I'm going to fill that glass with some crushed ice. Right? There we go. I'm going to take my handy dandy strainer. I'm going to take my mixing glass, and I'm going to pour that right in there like that. Perfect. All right, do that. Put that over here. And just to be all fancy, we're going to take a fresh mint sprig right from the garden, and we're going to put that in. So there you have it. This is the Blue Canary with Swish gin. So, going to have a little taste. Move that mint out of the way. Well, isn't that summertime in a glass? What's nice about this is Swish gin. If you haven't seen the video, I do encourage you to go back and watch it. So Swish gin's fun gin, and it's got some citrus notes, but orange citrus is kind of what's in there, and there's fresh orange in there as well. So Blue Curaçao, even though it's blue, it's an orange-based liqueur. So we're playing on similar flavors. There's a little bit of herbal savoriness to Swish, not very much, but just enough. And then when you put the little bit of mint in there, that is refreshing. You just need a resort-style pool, and you are all set. Alrighty, so the Blue Canary with Swish. All right, everybody still with me? Good. Okay, so moving right along, we're off to cocktail number 3. And this, folks, is the Fine and Dandy. And we're going to be using Black's Red Fife gin. Right? Red Fife is a strain of wheat that was essentially created in Peterborough, Ontario. Some great history on Red Fife and why Black's uses it in my video review of Black. So again, if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to check it out. Overall, this reminds me of what gin would have been back in the 19th century. This is an old school, kind of hefty, bolder, very full of character gin. And I elected to go with an old school cocktail, right? The Fine and Dandy goes back to the late 18th century. So we're going to take our cocktail shaker, back to the cocktail shaker, right? And what are we going to do? We're going to add ice. Of course we're going to add ice. So add our ice to our cocktail shaker. 1, 2, and 3. That's good. Right, now we're going to take 1.5 ounces of the Black's Red Fife gin. Pour that in like so. Then we're going to take 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec. So 3/4 of an ounce of triple sec. That goes right in there. Next up, 1/2 ounce of fresh lemon juice. Right, fresh is always best if you can. If you can't, improvise, but that's fine. Then we're going to take 1/4 ounce of simple syrup. So just a little touch of simple syrup, and simple syrup, for anyone not sure what that is, that's just a reduction of equal parts water and sugar. All right, finally, you grab your favorite brand of bitters. I got a nice Canadian local brand here. And you just add a little dasheroo of bitters. And we're going to take the top of our cocktail shaker, put that on. We're going to give it a good shake. All right, I'm going to take the top off. There we go. Take your favorite cocktail glass. I like these guys. Going back to this guy. We're going to strain this out. There we go. I'm opting for no garnish. You could add a garnish, your favorite garnish here. I just want to have this straight up and let the gin really sing through. Sláinte, as the Irish say. I think that goes very well together. I like that very much. Now that is, again, that's a bit more of a, I'm going to say rich cocktail, but it's not rich in terms of sweetness or whatever. It's just the gin itself has those bold and hefty flavors, and they all kind of really sing well, and they all play nice together with the triple sec and that lemon juice adding a bit of brightness because there are some citrus notes in the gin. So it's all pretty good. Excellent. And my executive producer is telling me that Swish Gin is indeed with us. So welcome. I hope you guys caught my, my demonstration of the Blue Canary. This is going to be an IGTV later. I can always send you the video, but welcome. Glad you guys are on board. Okay, so that's the Fine and Dandy from Black's. That's really nice. Cooler weather, but that's really nice. Okay, so we've come to the final cocktail of the day, number 4. We're going to go old school again. This is the Bronx, and we're going to be using ampersand gin, craft, artisanal, family-run distillery, family-owned, family-founded. These guys do all the hard work themselves, and they are in Duncan in beautiful British Columbia, just outside of Duncan, the Cowichan Valley. So, going to the West Coast. So what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start by adding ice to a shaker. All right. I think at this point, folks, if I didn't do that, you'd be surprised. All right. So we got ice in our shaker. Right, not too much. Next, we're going to add 1.5 ounces of the delicious ampersand gin. 1.5 ounces of gin. Then we're going to take 3/4 of an ounce of dry vermouth, right? That's the white one, dry vermouth. Then we're going to take 3/4 of an ounce of sweet vermouth, right? Sweet red vermouth. Put that right in there. Lastly, we're going to take the juice from 1/3 of a fresh orange. Now, in this case, because it's this gin, I'm going to really encourage you to use fresh. Everything these folks do is organic and fresh. You can taste that in the gin, and I'm going to encourage you to go fresh. So 1/3 of an orange, the juice from that, you have it. I'm going to put the top on. We're going to give it a shake and go over the sink. All right, we're going to try and get the top off. There we go. We're going to take your favorite glass. I'm going again like the highball glass idea. We're going to give it a strain. Do that so that we don't make a mess. And I don't care if the glass is a little short. I think it's cool. Because the next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking an orange slice. And I'll pop that right in. So it's going to add a little depth to it. And we're going to have a little taste of the Bronx. Well, that is lovely as well. Now, I must be honest, Jessica Schacht, who I had a conversation with, and she's in the review of the gin, a bit of that conversation. She's the one that mentioned this to me as a cocktail that they like to make. They like to make Negronis with it, but also the Bronx, and Jessica, of course, bang on, well done. Alrighty. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Folks, there you have it. 4 easy to make cocktails. We're just clocking in over 15 minutes, so about 4 minutes apiece. And all of these cocktails are made using quality craft, made in Canada gin. Life is simply too short to drink boring gin, and with the good stuff being made up here in the Great White North, you certainly don't have to drink boring gin. Now more than ever, folks, it is so important to buy local, support local, and to drink local. And I know that our Canadian craft distillers appreciate your support in bypassing those boring old stodgy big brand international bottles and instead putting some local in your cart and in your glass. Now tomorrow, Saturday, the 12th day of June, I'll be sharing some local food pairing ideas. And on Sunday, I'll be talking a little about 2 often used ingredients in gin and giving some background and info on that. Be sure to follow Somm for All, S-O-M-M, number 4, A-L-L, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, and to hit both the like and subscribe button on YouTube. That'll ensure that we're indeed connected and that you don't miss a minute of June. Thanks to you all for tuning in today. Whether you're catching this here live, and I really appreciate it if you are, and I equally appreciate it if you're catching this via video replay. Also, don't forget to keep sharing my posts and keep using the hashtag #SipWithSommForAll. I need your help to continue to spread the good word on our Canadian craft gin scene up here, and also to help support our local craft distillers. Until next time, folks, please stay safe out there. Be well. And cheers from the Blue Canary and Somm for All.